What's up? Anything but ASIC. And I'm I'm looking at the outbreak of just um, Raspberry Pi kiosks and signage. Now, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, where I actually somewhat make money off of this. And like I said, as of recently, well, this is a 2 month post, 1 month post back. A lot of Raspberry Pis have come out on the market as digital signage tools. That's Raspberry Pi back there, and with Jeff Greeley, this guy, coming out with a video a couple weeks back about digital signage. I thought I'd go ahead and make one that doesn't involve the Raspberry Pi, because let's just be serious. Are you crazy enough to pay $169 for a Raspberry Pi right now? I don't think you are. But maybe you'll get one of these old antiquated. I guess when they came out, they were standard, 6 years ago or so. Pine Rock 64s, which were selling for $20. This whole kit, the 1 GB. Like I said, everybody's going crazy, and for some reason, the Rock 64, once again, this came out 5-6 years ago. 4 GB. I guess because you can't get it, you'll never find these. It's now ridiculous prices, and people are just making profit. I forgot about the kit they came in. These were like $15. Now people are just profiting ridiculously. So this like I said, this is like vending machine money. This brings in just a little bit extra on top of the cake. But since I guess the secret's out, I might as well go ahead and show you how to do this and how I get it done. Now, I originally was using the Raspberry Pi kiosk formula or tutorial from Pi Up My Life, which you can also find on Jeff Greeley's channels and other places. We're just gonna go ahead and follow this one. Now, you're probably wondering, what are the alternatives to the Raspberry Pi? Let me start with that. What I started off on is when I first ventured past the Raspberry Pi to do digital science was the Orange Pi 1 Plus, but I found that actually it started with the Zero and the A Plus. The Raspberry Pi A Plus actually does a pretty good job if you don't want to put videos in it. But the Orange Pi 1 Plus is where I started outside of that. And then I did the Pine Rock 64. Then I ventured over to Libre and their offerings with the Lay Potato, which we're going to work on today, only because the Renegade is. I have a 4 GB Renegade, which is just not cooperating with me for whatever reason. It's kind of there, but we're having privilege problems, and I'm talking about that. I'll tell you about that later. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm taking some notes. Okay, well, first off, I got the Raspberry Pi Emporium around here. I got the single board computer Emporium around here. And like I said, we're going to try out on anything but, hence the name, a Raspberry Pi. It's not that I hate the Raspberry Pi, it's just that, once again, you need to know you have options. So, step one, this is seven somewhat okay. They're not easy steps, but they're okay steps. Like I said, if everybody can do it, then I wouldn't have a job. So, step one, figure out auto login. The Raspberry Pi does a lot of heavy lifting, and auto logs you in, although it's stated in the tutorial that you will have to re-enable that setting once you change the configuration for the kiosk, which once again the Raspberry Pi makes it easy for you with the raspberry pi.config command. So first of all, let's go ahead and pull up PuTTY for Libre, and it's going to be on 192.168.8.137. That should be it. And I've already been in this, so things should go fairly easy. Because I named my Libre Lay Potato Spuds. I think that's the password. Yep, Lay Potato. Alright. So, that's the command for Lay Potato. Stretch that out. Put this over here. Alright, so first thing you want to do is create a folder for LightDM. Now, most of the distros outside of the Raspberry Pi comes with LightDM. Some don't. But generally, if you go to cd /etc, if you go to the LightDM folder, you'll find that the LightDM folder doesn't have a lightdm.conf. You're just gonna have to make one. Conf file. You're just gonna have to make one. So you would go nano /etc/ you don't have to write it all the way out, but I did. Oh crap, does not exist. How dare you? What spell? Oh, light DM. That's what I needed. There you go. And I've already got this already in. Like I said, in here, if you're running Unity, go ahead and leave that in. And I did this in sudo, so it's unwritable for me, but it's already there, so everything's already configured. But notice that you will have to put in your username. That's going to be one of the things you change from the one of the things you change from the tutorial. Oh. And this is not going to be in the Raspberry Pi tutorial, by the way. This is one of the things you're just going to have to do. So, with that being done, let's see. Defaults. Control plus X, then Y to save that. And, let's see. Like I said, you can go to really active at github.io DIY Pi kiosk for his version of how to do this on the Raspberry Pi, but we're not doing Raspberry Pi here. We're anything but Raspberry Pi now. Okay, so do all the updates, sudo.update, everything you need for the for getting this up and running. Personally, I don't feel that with a lot of the single board computers I use outside the Raspberry Pi, the update it might be necessary, but I feel that it ends up breaking things more than it fixes generally for me. And I've had that experience one too many times, so I don't generally upgrade, but I'll update. Sudo app install xdo tool unclutter sed. That's the next command you need to put in. Let's see. Xdo tool. Really? I'm gonna give him caps loss. There you go. So I have everything already installed. Just to break it down, what these actually do: unclutter doesn't do much, and the only thing we need from it is to make the mouse pointer go away. Really, XDo tool is part of the new tutorial, and it's optional to get this done. Although it's optional to get this done, but although it's fun to see what an automation tool can do, because it's just gonna. I think it cycles. From what I saw, it cycles through the pages if you have more than one website you want to display, and that's generally what it does. The SED is to stabilize Chromium and make sure the warning bars are not popping up after a crash. Chromium it's been worked on. It's still open source. It's kind of flaky sometimes. I guess like if it's on for days at a time, you can start seeing some problems, but generally it's okay. All right, so step 3, make a bash script. For the kiosk script, you can copy and paste most of it, and just remember to point it to the website you're going to display and where you put this file. So what you want to do is go nano / home /spuds / kiosk.sh. Now me, I already have this somewhere, but let's see. For the kiosk contents, it's just all this been bashed. And I don't think I could copy and paste into this. I don't think I could copy and paste into the terminal. Let's see. Nope, doesn't let you. Not this time. So yeah, just go ahead and copy and paste that into the terminal. Just remember to, where you see your username, to put your username that you're going to be using to distribute this file. Mine would be Spuds, but whatever your username is. I have personally commented out the XD tool commands, as it is optional and can get out of hand if you don't know how to disable it. Like I said, it'll just keep clicking, and even once you like close the browser, it'll just keep going. Also, if you want, you can have a script point to an internal website if you don't want this connected to the internet at all. So if you're running this offline, you don't have to have this point to your actual website online. Like I said, you could just have that point to, I don't know, if you put kiosk, put your HTML website in the same folder as your kiosk. You just have it point to that same folder with the website, or website where the website is, whatever. Sent to the past. Step 4, systemd or RC local or cron. It's pretty much the meat and potatoes of scripting automation in Linux. On this setup, and most people in the Linux community will tell you to use systemd as rc.local is antiquated. I find that RC local is the easier one to use if you're on the Raspberry Pi, as the Raspberry Pi team has done all the configuration for you to get it up and running. So all you have to do is just enter your script. Outside of the Raspberry Pi environment, I find that both are about the same amount of hassle to set up, but knowing what to put into the RC local is straightforward, whereas the systemd, there's a lot more research to be done and a lot more room for errors. One of the most common errors for both automation tools is privileges. Both execute the script as root, which is why Chromium is called by going to the user/users/bin folder instead of just calling Chromium browser like you would from the command line. If you call Chromium browser while it's en route, it will not show up on the GUI, as it does not have a sandbox for Chromium to operate. As for cron jobs, I've done only one. I've only done this once, and it was a disaster. Really, it just got out of hand. I really don't want to talk about it. Oh God. Your system D script location. You can put this script in more than one location for system D to call it at the beginning of the startup of your single board computer. But if you're going to follow this tutorial and put it here at let's go back to the terminal. This is cd /lib/system D. That's it, system D. System. Did I spell that right? I'm blind. Sys. Now, if you look at there, let's see, what was it? It was up page. There we go. You can already see that I have kiosk service already made. So I'm gonna go ahead and nano kiosk dot service. Come on. There we go. So, you know, I already have everything in. Like I said, notice that you will, where I put your username, you're going to have to change your username. Otherwise, this thing is going to act all kinds of screwy. And in this file, you have to put your username, you have to change your username from pi to, oh crap, hold on. From pi to your username at least 4 times. Let's see. So sudo. I don't even know how that worked. Sudo nano kiosk dot service. I knew I missed that. Spuds. Control X. Yes. Alright. And then Control X and Y to save that. See, a few things to note, and where I got tripped up with just copy and paste it. First, I'll remember where you put your kiosk bash script and making script and point to it, then changing the username to the username to name of your user. So basically, where I put spuds. Now step 5. This is a simple copy and paste. If it does not work, chances are you need to check your privileges. Pause. Pause. I'm gonna put that in there. Oh no. Or you had this misspelled something somewhere. You have misspelled something somewhere, and we'll have to go through and redo this entire tutorial all over again to find the problem, which would suck. Note. This note I just wrote. Upon further research into why the script was having privilege issues on the other SBC, as I mentioned, the Renegade was having problems, was potentially because I didn't have the system D service in the user folder. You can put the systemd.service file in many places and still have it work. The place recommended for user files is to make a folder at /home/.config/systemd/user. But even then, that did not solve the problem with the Renegade. So that's still up for debate, and more research is needed. So next, at least corresponding to, I didn't even look at this thing. What's this? Pi Up My Life. According to Pi Up My Life, we're gonna hit enable the kiosk service. So go ahead and do sudo systemctl enable kiosk service, sudo systemctl start kiosk service, and sudo ctl status kiosk.service, and your service should be up and running. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in that last one, sudo systemctl. Oh, right. I changed some things. When you change things, it won't actually work. So you got to go sudo, put in sudo system ctl disable kiosk service. Now you put in sudo. Yeah, we'll be lazy about it. Put start service. Now look for status. There you go. And now it's running. Now when you restart your control C. Now when you restart your Libre, not your Raspberry Pi, and you plug it into HDMI controller, it will point to the website that you had point to in your kiosk script for Chromium, and it'll just come up automatically in kiosk mode. Which the only way to get out of that would be press Alt. That I find is Alt F4, because the F11 key for full screen just for some reason doesn't work. All right. So after all that, step 6 is to orientate the screen. And I don't know why all the Linux distros basically hide the display settings amongst the loads of other trash that no one else uses. I mean, it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't say infuriating. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Every time I start a new distro, it takes me like hours to a day to even come close to finding a GUI equivalent of xrender -- output HDMI -1 space -- mode 1024 by 768. And if you want to flip the screen, well, you can do xrender -o left, but trying to find that in the GUI itself so that it remembers that you actually made that, not easy. But you could go to, if you want to know how to flip the screen, a good tutorial for xrender is https www.debugpoints.com, how to rotate display in Ubuntu Linux. I found that was pretty helpful. Go ahead and highlight that. But we come to the last step. And this step is the hardest. It really is. Because all this is actually, it wasn't all that hard. Even though people would think it was hard. And like I said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But anybody who's been working with Linux for a couple of months, it's not ridiculously hard. But the hardest part is finding something interesting to show. If you're like me and you have been doing this for a few years, and you'll find that designing something that stands out from the crowd that will make you a little side money, like a vending machine industry, from what I've seen over the years, is that this kind of advertising has become easier to access, and most companies or individuals can use a pre-made package to get the same effect, although they will be paying more. as setting up a Raspberry Pi kiosk. So the real moneymaker note that no one talks about. So the real moneymaker note that everyone is almost on the same page is the graphic design. I don't know why I wrote that. But yeah, the graphic design is where money's at. Actually getting something that people will actually want to see. In a world where everyone you look, there's some kind of advertisement of sorts. The only thing you can do is make your visuals better than someone else, which is the secret to that has also been giving out, which basically these are all research that's been going into marketing. If you ever looked, of course you've looked at a TikTok video, or you looked at Facebook and stuff, what do they give you? Like flashing lights, bombastic statements, be like, Joe Biden just something. Joe Biden just raised taxes. Oh God, I'm gonna read that. Or you're just selling the next Dogecoin hype train. Oh, I got a new Dogecoin hype train. Oh God, everybody's gonna click that. Why not? You gotta be the first in, bro. What's his name? Christopher Titus. Well, I think it was Christopher Titus. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end on that. I think at this point, talking about advertising and shit, I should I should have a sponsor. I should slip that in. But I'm just gonna end this on Raid Shadow. No, not Raid Shadow Legends. All right, guys. I'll see you some other time.